Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today is Saturday, August 29th, which means I am starting my new weekly guidances a day ahead. So that way you get the full 7-day forecast of what to expect. So as usual, our weekly guidance is brought to you by the Santa Muerte Book of the Dead Tarot deck by Fabiola Strani. And you are watching Tarot with Kuka. So remember, if you like what you hear, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. So with that, let's get started. So our first card that we are drawing is our weekly guidance. And we have in our situation the King of Wands. This is actually very interesting because last week we had the King of Cups, if I remember correctly. So the King of Wands, the Wands suit represents our passion. And so our king, well, you know, he has grown up through the stages of Wands. I mean, the Wands has they've come through some very busy times and had to coordinate and even had some obstacles facing. But our king here, he has triumphed and he has brought his experience on dealing with busy times as well as obstacles. As you can see, I mean, homeboy is sitting here standing in a field with his arms pointed upward again. He knows which direction he wants to go. He ain't staying grounded. He is ready to take off on whatever venture he wants. So with that, let's read the advice of the dead for the King of Wands. So let's go to the guidebook and search for our wands. So again, you know, I love this deck because, you know, Santa Muerte, she is a spirit that works in light and shadow. And I know, like, a lot of the American news has kind of pointed out that she's highly revered by the drug cartel. Well, the thing is with Santa Muerte, what makes her so popular is that she has taken in people who have been casted out of the church. And so there have been people who have been casted out for, you know, being gay, you know, being different. So she has brought those in and has been inclusive. So that's kind of why she is highly revered. She is a spirit, like I say, that operates in both light and shadow, and she is to be highly respected and not to be messed with. So let's read the advice of the dead for our wands. So for the king, what we have here is follow the advice of a strong person in whom you trust without fear, and this will be particularly remunerative and rewarding. Wow. So again, you know, it's kind of interesting because in this picture with our King of Wands, you know, he is leaning on this tree stump as if it almost looks like a horse too. But he's leaning for support. And so yes, our King of Wands, he's very experienced. He has come through some very busy times and has organized and has brought his project to success. So in order to go further, sometimes we do need the help of others. And it doesn't hurt to lean on somebody who can definitely help you. And again, you know, eliminate that fear and learn to trust. So with that, let's look at our sun guidance and see what we have. And so we have another wands card. We have the Three of Wands. I love this because in this particular deck, the wands is represented by kind of like it looks like these red celery, and you know, red is the color of passion. And also what we have here is this little bird. I'm trying to get him in clearly. It looks like he is holding some type of book or some type of guide. So this could also be the insight. And as you can see, like through these wands, they have come out of some very difficult growth. Like, it looks like they had some thorns and thistles to come out of. So let's check out what the Three of Wands has to say for the advice of the dead. And so in this moment, you do not require the help of check this out. Okay, so in this moment, you do not require the help of anyone. Proceed with energy towards your new creation. Okay, this is interesting. So we kind of have some some conflict of information, or what seems like conflict of guidance. Seek help. Don't seek help. What do you do? Let's kind of go, before we kind of dwell into this, it's really interesting because this has now become a little bit of a challenge trying to connect the dots here. So here, we have the Five of Pentacles in the reverse position. So the Pentacles tends to do with family and career, earthbound, very grounded, and it's in the reverse. And 5 usually indicates a number of changes. So let me read what the guidebook here says about being in the reverse. So what they say is an excess of dynamism and velocity in moving about could, however, make the situation too fluid and unstable, causing inevitable worries and disorder to appear and obliging us to go back to where we were. So worrying is something that we're kind of taking in. So the advice of the dead: with calm and through concrete and objective evaluation, you can go ahead, overcoming any crisis that you meet along your way. So it sounds like we're going to be facing some challenges, and it's going to be up to our discernment whether or not we seek the help. I tend to look at the King as somebody who has been through their stuff, and so they're experienced, they have wisdom, they're seasoned, so they know what to do. And again, when you're in that king position or that leadership role, and I mean this also in the femininity, because again, women are also leaders. So a good leader knows whether or not, and knows when to seek the help. So kind of what I'm getting from here is, if you kind of look at things, like this king is, let's do this. This is again, this is about learning, and so we're learning tarot, and so our king is leaning for support to move on and go forward, and it's a solid support. However, if you look at the Three of Wands here, they have grown out of some very difficult times. And so maybe the lesson here is, be careful on who you are coming in, who you are bringing into your circle this week. Like I say, fear is definitely kind of like the driven force here. If you go forward with something in fear, it can lead you down a very weird and different path. But if without fear, you can't do no wrong. And so with the Five of Pentacles in the reverse position, it seems like, if you dwell on things too long, it becomes something you worry about, and again, this is like in regards to career, home, finances. So dwelling on something too long can cause that fear and worry as well. And with the Wands, they tend to be passionate, quick action, quick-minded. So don't dwell on things too long. And if you find yourself doing that, then maybe that's when you do need to seek that guidance and seek that help. So I think the balance to this, here we go, got it. So the balance to this is whether or not to seek support in your situation is if you have been kind of spending your time dwelling and you've gone into worry mode and fear mode, you definitely want to seek help, because maybe it does take a fresh eye to help you out of whatever situation you're in. Maybe talk to somebody, talk in confidence. But also, if you kind of know which direction you're going and you have a vision and you are driven, you don't need to lean on. You can do this. You're growing out of tough times, but you're gonna make it. And so, like I say, I don't like delivering messages like in fear. So, like I say, the thing out of this, if you are going into that fear where you're starting to worry, lean on somebody, seek some help, pick up that phone, call a friend, call a relative, have courageous conversations for the healing. If you kind of know what's happening in your life, you know your vision, and you know where you're going, then do it. Just do it. So, with that, I think I rambled on for a while, and I'm going to cut this short. So, I just want to send everybody love, light, and many, many blessings. Take care.